Hi, I'm Hayley, I'm chronically single, and this is the gist of Valentine's Day. We're talking about Valentine's Day. Does everyone want to introduce themselves?
Hi, I'm Ali. I am in a relationship.
Hi, I'm Izzy. I'm also in a relationship
No.
with you.
Just to clarify.
Really?
Oh.
Crazy.
Hi, I'm Anya, and I'm not in a relationship.
Okay, but not
Yeah.
chronically single, like... Oh my god. So, what are your guys' Valentine's Day plans, if any, that is?
Well, Izzy and I, or as I am just finding out now, are going to a gig, which may have happened to have lined up on that by more coincidence than anything, but it will be
Yeah.
fun, will it not?
Yeah, we're going to see Dream Wife, and then we're going to go out to see a Dream Wife DJ set afterwards. Because when we went to a festival, a Why Not Festival, last year, we went to go and see, we were at a crossroads between seeing Jade Bird or seeing Girly. And then when we walked towards Girly to see what it would be like, the band Dream Wife were there and they invited us to dance with them. And it's a nice memory we almost have.
And they're now our close personal friends.
Oh,
So-
absolutely. They're not. We wish they were. They're
yeah,
so
they
cool.
should be.
I'd believe it. I really bought it for a second. But I'm gonna bought stuff. What about you?
What am I doing on Valentine's
Yeah.
Day? Well, I'm gonna round up all of the single members of the flat, and I'm gonna be like, guys, we need to do something. We were tempted by Crisis Valentine's Day, but I don't think I actually want to go through with it.
It's a dangerous
Yeah.
game, that.
Yeah, it seems a bit awful.
Yeah, no, to be fair, I wanted to go Ocean, but obviously it's not UON night, it's Trent night.
That's an even
Yeah.
more dangerous
Yeah,
game.
my mum is there in the morning, but obviously she
Oh,
will be
like
going
on the
home.
morning of Valentine's Day.
Yeah, but she's going home that day. So I'm doing Galentine's.
With your mother.
Not with my mother.
Oh, with your...
With
your gals.
With any... I haven't actually found anyone to do Galentine's with yet, but I am somehow doing
So this is call out to you, the NSTV viewer, to spend Galentine's Day with our good friend Hayley Lawson.
If you need
Yeah.
Galentine's Day plans, I'm the place to go, but that's hearsay. So how... Obviously you guys have plans. You do not, but you are single, so fair enough.
Jesus.
Me too, don't worry. It's not me when I'm in the same boat. So what do you think of Valentine's Day? Do you think it's too commercialised? Obviously it definitely is.
Yeah.
But does that put you off? Like,
Can we
floor
edit
is
that?
open. Floor is open.
I guess so. I mean, the difficulty with Valentine's Day is if you do it the traditional way, everything's booked up months in advance. So you need to,
Think creatively about
think
it.
creatively. You need to be creative. You need to come up with your own special ways that work for you and your significant other.
Aw.
Because, I mean, our relationship isn't especially gift giving oriented.
No.
Is that fair?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm a cheap date, and you're a cheap date. We once
Cute.
the last sit down date we did. We went to get pies because there was a pie shop in
Is
town.
that true? We went to do pottery.
That's true, we did. But before that,
That's really awesome.
here's how.
I love that.
Before that, though, we went to go and get pies because they were free, and that we turned that into a pretty day.
They were great pies.
They were really good pies.
It must be nice not to be chronically single.
But
about you?
we're resourceful about our dates, though.
Yeah, that's always a healthy way to be.
Dating on a student budget.
Everyone has to. What about you? What do you think of Valentine's Day as a concept?
As a concept, I mean, I think it's fun, when you're in a relationship, but at the same time, I feel like there's a lot of pressure to do something big on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
But, I mean, when you're single, it's just another day, isn't it?
Yeah.
You don't really think about it.
Yeah, I do think about it. I just feel really sad. But I think the thing is, I think you can be really, like you said, be really resourceful about it, but make it really cheap. Cooking together.
That's what we did last year.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think.
doing something wholesome.
We went to Tesco and went, what steak do they have left? I mean, I'm vegetarian, so that was for you anyway. But when we were looking around, we just went around looking what Valentine's specials are still not sold out.
Did we
Yeah.
find
Let's grab
it?
those.
Did we find
Yeah,
anything?
no,
I forget.
you had a steak. You did have a steak in the end. It was just not the ideal cut, if that makes sense.
Yeah, not really.
I shouldn't have come on this podcast with, a couple, because I feel very, very single now, but...
Take
Yeah.
Rory.
I love Rory,
Take
yeah.
Rory. But on the note, the date vibes, what is your worst date story, if you have any? Please tell one with each other. That would be brilliant. Did you ever have a really badly filmed?
Well, there was one that we were mentioning shortly before we went on air that I think would be an interesting one, where Izzy, we'd just been to the Trent Bridge test match. England had just beaten New Zealand. It was a great event, but it had also been stupendously warm, and some of us, naming no names in particular, had forgotten to put sun cream on. So the day after, we've scheduled a date at the fantastic, I don't know if it's still there, the fantastic Annie's Burger Shack in Nottingham Town Centre. And mere hours before that, Izzy, very sunburnt, decides to have a shower and then starts screaming because, in her own words, and I'll let you describe it,
It felt like there were fire ants under my skin because it's such a thing when you're so badly sunburned, when it's like really red, if you put anything cold on it, because they advise you to put like aloe vera on it, like have cold showers. If you're really badly sunburned, you shouldn't do that. And I had something called devil's itch, and now I'm terrified of the sun.
I'm glad I've learned this fact because I didn't know that.
I had to basically restrain Iz to make sure that she wouldn't itch herself and make it worse. And it was one of the most bizarre experiences of my life. But once it came, it left as quickly as it came, and we still did make the date. So
My attack of because I had multiple waves of it, but my final attack of it ended 10 minutes before our reservation. So we got an Uber, rushed to town, and I was still shaking. But I needed to eat something, so it worked quite well.
I love how disgusted you looked that whole
I
time.
don't feel disgusted. I just feel awful. Jesus.
the burger was lovely though.
Oh,
That's
well,
rough.
Anya's. Well, no, you're Anya. Annie's Burger Shack.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Anya, you should open a Burger Shack if it's not there anymore.
Do what?
I think it is still
No,
there.
it's
Oh, is it?
Open a burger shack.
Yeah. Take over. Do you have any horrible
Right.
date stories?
Not any objectively bad dates, but when you're figuring out a person and you realise they're not your type of
Yeah.
person. I just figured out someone was more leaning on the Tory kind of side.
Yeah.
Sorry, I wasn't really a fan.
Controversial.
But nothing actually bad.
Nothing bad.
Yeah. What about you?
I just had a really awkward. It was really bad. When there was
Oh.
nothing to talk about. And then we were stood outside waiting for the bus, and I was trying to think of something to say. And he was, "Oh, what are your plans this weekend?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm going to Rock City." Still just silence after that, and then I went, "You should come," just to kill the
Oh,
silence.
Hayley.
Oh dear.
And he did.
And
Did you manage to
No.
ditch him?
He got really offended because we had to go home. One of my friends was quite upset, so we had to go home, and he got really offended by it, and then proceeded to ask for another date. And I should have probably just said look, it clearly didn't go.
Oh my god.
Fantastic. But I just kind of every time he proposed a date, I was like, sorry, I can't make that, until he got the picture.
Oh dear.
That's really bad, and I wouldn't do it now. It was very I was very recently single at the time. I had never done the whole dating thing. To be fair, I still haven't really done the whole dating thing, but it didn't go well. It was just awkward.
I think
But-
dating apps and dating in that way is a unique art, and it's not one I've ever really had to do.
It's horrifying.
Yeah.
That's horrifying to me. The idea, I would never, and I'm sorry, but if you've met the love of your life through dating apps, ignore this, but I would not want to tell my children, how I met your father, oh yeah, dating app, or Bumble, back in the day. I couldn't.
It's
But-
true, yeah. And
yeah.
it could be with dating apps is such a risk because they literally just could be a creep you don't know, you can't screen them beforehand. It's just sort of
Well, it's true luck
Yeah.
of the draw.
Or worse, you know them. Because I remember there was a brief period of time in first year, because I came into uni with a relationship that ended in the November of first year, and then I had a couple
wow.
months in between. And I
And
remember...
then he met
And
me.
then, I remember I was a member of one society in the start of Freshers, and I saw every single member of that society on Hinge.
Okay.
And I did the same thing with my D&D group. I saw half of them on Hinge.
God.
I saw everyone I lived with in halls. There were pictures
That's
of them
crazy.
at the Christmas meal across from me. I'm like,
That's
yeah. Because
Yeah.
you don't know what to do. Because you want to know, right?
Yeah.
You want to know, so you want to swipe and be like, oh, that's interesting, but you don't like them. You just want to know if they liked
I
you.
think for the funniness, I would swipe right.
Yeah.
Just be like, fancy seeing you here.
But what do you do when you don't know them that well? Where it's like, you want to
True.
know, but also it's not going to be funny. They're going to think you're being serious. It's not a problem I have to encounter anymore.
To swipe or not to swipe?
Lucky you.
That is the question. But yeah, on the note of the whole dating app thing though, when you get that date, you speak to someone on a dating app or you meet them in Ocean while you're working and they are drunk. How do you, when you go on that first date, who pays?
Ooh, who pays? Listen, like, I don't mind paying. Like, I will always offer to pay, but I think the other person should, like, offer to pay as well. Like, call it, like, old-fashioned, but, like there should be some kind of ritual, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Kind of like that, like, both should at least have that enthusiasm to offer to pay, because otherwise, like, could you imagine just, like, one person's like, yeah, I'll pay, and then there's just, like, silence. It's like,
Yeah, but when you're working
Okay.
and there's two people fighting over who's going to pay, it's really awkward,
oh,
isn't
well,
it?
when you're the third person, the waiter, I guess
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
the like, which one of you tap your card. It's, yeah.
We always split, I think.
Yeah, we
We had a brief period where we'd like alternate, but it just got confusing because there's so other like who's buying dinner when you're at home, who's cooking, and when you're in a relationship for a long time, then it's really hard. But I think if you're just starting dating, you should always split because you need that.
Yeah.
Like I remember in my last relationship we used to alternate, and he broke up with me after I'd just paid a really big dinner, and I was really annoyed because I was like, oh, you owe me a dinner, because it was
How
like
dare you?
it was like £70 was the last dinner we'd had, because it was in Sheffield and it was like when I'd gone to visit him. It was so expensive, and I was like,
I'd be furious.
yeah, but it's not his fault because it's just
Yeah.
it's luck of the draw with like, you know.
I think because my last one broke up with me just before his birthday, so I'd bought his birthday presents. I was very.
That's
disappointed about
crafty.
that. I was very. How? No, because he didn't get them.
no, I didn't mean it as a positive. I didn't mean it as a positive.
Oh, okay.
Just, it's a sneaky thing to do.
Yeah. So I think because with me, like I said, I still don't really know the dating world. When I went on one in October, and I thought it went quite nicely. He had a girlfriend, so it didn't. But we were like kind of reaching for the card. And then I was like, right, okay, you pay for this drink, I'll pay for the next drink. And then I paid for 2 drinks, and I think he paid for 3. And we did it like that, like alternating, but on the day, because we just went to the pub. But then we didn't go on anymore because he had a girlfriend.
Wait,
And
so
he
did you find out through the date that he had a girlfriend? Or...
No, I followed him on Instagram. And I
Oh,
found
that's
out
awful.
I found out when he
Oh,
posted
dear.
pictures of them in Switzerland together over Christmas.
Uh-oh.
For their like 6 months anniversary, and I was like, oh, that's funny.
Love is dead.
Interesting.
Why would you trust anyone?
I thought it was really, yeah.
Thanks for watching our Valentine's
Oh,
That's-
you guys.
That's
you guys are
my-
the only one.
That's my Galentine's regime, because I still do Galentine's even in a
Okay.
relationship.
Because love is dead.
Well, so my best friend from home is dating Ali's best friend from home, despite the fact that they're
In a true
different-
sitcom
It's
circumstance.
really weird.
Crazy.
But me and her name's Hazel, and we used to every single year make a cake, love heart cake, and eat it with our hands and write "Love is dead" on it.
Oh.
And it didn't matter, like,
I love that.
yeah, it didn't matter if we were in relationships or talking to
Love
people.
is dead because we are now in a world where it's like, I'm sorry, but
Are we supposed to be promoting the values of love?
there's no, because I'm sorry, but the way that people used to meet people, it doesn't happen anymore. Now you meet someone in a pub and it's like,
The world is constantly changing.
I don't like it. Okay, the world of love, I don't like it. But then it's always been messy.
There's always ocean.
True.
There's always ocean. You're not
Because-
gonna find the love of your life in ocean.
That's the way our relationship started in Ocean, technically.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like it's just a weird one because in some ways it's really nice now because I feel like people are a bit more understanding of feelings, and you know it's getting to a point when I think people are a bit more emotionally vulnerable and they're more willing to express themselves, but also no, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But if you're doing your Galentine's, like you, me and Izzy, and I'm not sure what your plans are, Ali, for Galentine's.
I mean,
No.
might be slightly hamstrung for obvious reasons, but you know.
Yeah. If you're doing your Galentine's or just chill night in, what film are you watching?
Ooh. For me, gosh, I don't know. So I've only watched one romantic movie ever. So Literally any of them. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't really care. My flatmates or something. Or just, like, watch a completely different film, like Saltburn or something on fun.
Just not, okay.
Just not a romantic film, I don't know.
Well, romantic in some ways.
My favourite like romantic-esque film is The Shape of Water, but that is with a fish man, so I don't think that counts.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, it's so good, so good. But I don't think it's appropriate for Valentine's Day. It's a bit too abstract for that. It's a woman falls in love with a fish.
On that note, I'm going to go watch Flushed Away.
Flushed Up, that's a shout. See, I would go for a rom-com because I like to make myself cry. I feel like for me, it would be either like a really gut-wrenching one, not a rom-com, but like a romantic. The Notebook.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah.
Or, really wholesome, 10 Things I Hate About You.
That was a good one.
Which, that speech that she does, the poem, bore my eyes out. Every time. Because I hate, like, I get it. You get it. I just...
How many times have you watched that movie?
Too many. I could probably do that. I could probably recite it. But I'm not going to. Because I think, for the purpose of everyone else's sanity, me bawling my eyes out over 10 Things I Hate About You right now is not a good idea.
Probably not, no.
Yeah. And I think with that, we'll wrap up. But yeah, happy Valentine's Day. And before we end this, will you be my Valentine?